to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading, and what that is every Saturday I let you, the viewer, choose from one of 3 tarot decks or oracle decks. And after you choose your deck, I go ahead and do a brief spread that talks about the general energies for the week. This is just a general reading. It is what we call universal, so it does not need to be the first week of May in order for it to resonate. I also just say that anytime you hear a reading, there's a saying in card reading that is, take what resonates and leave the rest. So if you feel like certain messages are not resonating, by all means feel free to choose a different pile, or maybe even choose a different video. Again, anytime you feel gravitated or drawn to a reading, there might be a few messages contained for you. Again, I always think cards are just reading a story. I like to look at symbols and see what stories come out of that. There's definitely, this channel is for entertainment purposes only, so there is no levity at all with the messages that we get. It's just, I like to see the reading of cards as kind of like a nice way to analyze the symbols in life and in our psyche, and to kind of glean some higher knowledge. Now, today is kind of a fun day. It is May 2nd, and this reading is for May 2nd to the 9th. But again, if you come across it at a different time, it may resonate for you. And May 2nd is National Herb Day. Herb like thyme or cilantro or paprika. So I wanted to do something kind of special. I thought about putting actual herbs on top of the cards, but I really didn't. I didn't have too much. I looked at my cabinet and, I did. I had some thyme. I had some paprika. But what we could do is I decided to just go ahead and go with regular tarot and stones. But to make it kind of different, I did go ahead and I am going to pull, after I pull your spread using tarot, I am going to clarify using the fauna cards. Or is that the Flora? Yeah, that's the Flora. I'm sorry. There's 2 sister decks here, but we'll choose the Flora deck. And then I also thought that since with everything going on in the world, I feel like a lot of, I can speak for myself, but I know that I've been learning a lot about cooking and taking care of myself better through this whole experience. And I know it's been a really tough time for everyone. So in addition, I am also going to pull a self-care card, and this is by DejaDrewit. All of the names of the authors and the decks that I use are in the description box below. If you ever want to skip straight to your reading, the timestamps are also in the description box below. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let you choose your deck. The first deck is the Spacious Tarot, and we have this beautiful green stone. I think it's an aquamarine. The second deck is the Linestrider Tarot by Siolo Thompson, and we have a beautiful blue quartz. And the last deck is a tried and true. It's one of my favorites. It's actually the first deck I formally learned tarot on, and it is the, oh my gosh, the Morgan Greer. Oh my god, I drew a blank. It's been a long week, guys. Sorry. The Morgan Greer Tarot, published by US Games, and on top of it, I have a beautiful piece of sea glass. So I'll go ahead and let you choose. Please choose from your intuition. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. So let's jump right in. So deck number 1, the Spacious Tarot. So deck number 1, what kind of week are you going to have? May 2nd through the 9th. I can't believe it's May. It's May. What is the energy for deck 1? What kind of energies is deck 1 going to see this week? Ooh, got a flipper. Okay, and then the middle of the week. I'm going to go ahead with what's on top. Well, I got 3 cards. Let's go ahead and go with all of them. Why not? Ooh, we got some wands. And then end of the week, please. Ooh, thank you. Okay, and let's go ahead and let's pull your Flora card. I love this deck. It's a really beautiful kind of watercolor. A lot of these decks are very... So what is our... Oh, there we go. We'll go with it. Two kind of flips, so I'm going to go with both. We'll try not to make it too long-winded. And what is your self-care card? Let's go ahead and see. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, you got two, and we'll go with two. All right. We'll go ahead and try to keep it concise. But all right, guys, at the beginning of the week, you got the Ace of Wands. And I love the aces in this deck. They're magic wands, right? So you see the spark, right? And so at the beginning of the week, you're really going to feel animated. You're going to feel that spark of wanting to do something new. Either that, or you might have some kind of idea or some kind of project, some kind of endeavor going on in your life that's making you feel really, really animated. And it's funny, even in your self-care card, and we haven't gotten to it yet, there's one candle right in the middle, right? So, and yeah, there's a lot of wand energy. I think this energy of the beginning of your week is really going to carry throughout. But basically, you just feel a real strong. There's going to be some kind of beginning for you at the beginning of the week, where there's going to be some kind of opportunity or some kind of idea. This can definitely be in family. It can relate to family, or it can relate to career. But here I'm getting an overall spiritual kind of vibe. I honestly kind of get the feeling like this is some kind of project. And again, this could be a side project or just something that you're starting, but you really get a launch. I'm getting that, like, I'm seeing someone jump off a diving board, kind of. But yeah, you're getting a real launch kind of feeling at the beginning of the week. Now, by the beginning of by the middle of the week, oh my gosh, you seriously got some momentum here, and this could, and again, I'm seeing a lot of court cards. So this could very well be people. I'm wondering of some kind of event, and I'm being really drawn to the spark here. I'm drawn by the spark, and I really think that something has sparked off a chain of events, right? It could, again, it could be a lot of things. It could be money that's come in. It can be, some kind of, new encouragement that you've gotten. I'm not seeing a whole lot of pentacles, so I'm definitely getting more of kind of a, it's definitely more action oriented. I really do think I think someone has made some kind of decision or started something that's affecting, and I am almost getting a family vibe from this. So what I'm seeing here is by the middle of the week, we've got the Explorer of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. And I adore this deck because all of the wands are salamanders, and it's so darn cute. But I really get the vibe as if maybe you're the Explorer of Wands. Because again, the beginning of your week, you got the spark. And by the middle of the week, it's become this, this flame, and you see the same wand, right? Same wand. You're carrying the wand, and it's almost like the inverse, right? It's almost the reverse. Here, you're coming out of the dark, and it's this spark of action, and then by the middle of the week, you're out of the dark. It's like, when I see this, I almost think of that. Last weekend we did a National Superhero Day, and you know how whenever the superhero is like walking away from an explosion, right? I saw a funny meme that talked about how it showed the back of all their clothes being melted off, but you only see the front of the person walking away, looking all suave with the glasses on, right? So I do think that this might be some kind of action that you sparked off. It could be, I really get the feeling as if maybe you're the knight there. If you're not the knight, then someone who is very, and again, a knight can be kind of an early 20s kind of energy. you don't necessarily have to be in your early 20s. Maybe you just act like it. But it's that excitement. It's about charging ahead and doing new things. The other thing is that knights, they go on quests. It's like a journey to them, right? And they're excited to go on the journey. They're ready to do new things. They want to do new things. So, but I am definitely getting the feeling like that's kind of your energy because of the spark, fanning into a flame. And underneath it, underneath this night energy is you got the Elder of Wands and you got the Empress. And the Elder of Wands is the King of Swords. The Elder of Swords. The Elder of Swords is the King of Swords. And then you got, underneath it, you got the Empress. So definitely, I'm getting a feeling like I am kind of getting a family vibe. If not, maybe a work vibe with a lot of characters around you. Because in the middle of the week, you are dealing with someone who's very cerebral, or maybe I really get the feeling as if maybe this idea or this action involves these other two people. It involves the King of Swords and it involves the Empress. And the Empress is a real motherly figure. She could be a mother or a grandmother, someone that is very matriarchal in the family. And then there's another more kingly, another more mature masculine energy of someone who is very strategic, someone who's very good with their words, and someone who's very organized, like they plan things out, right? And I am getting a sense as if there might be some kind of conversation. And again, the King of Swords can be a woman. He doesn't necessarily, but if it is a woman showing up in the King's energy, it's someone who's very strategic. It's someone who thinks things out and has everything really, really well planned. But I definitely get the sense that by the middle of the week, some event has sparked off and fanned into a fire, and it almost has you excited. It's almost as if before now everything has been so stagnant that this, even though it's change and it's a little, again, like a big ball of fire, you're like, oh yeah, bring it on, right? Because it's change, it's something different. But I do see that you are in some kind of communication with someone who's very strategic, and it can be a male or a woman, but if it's a woman, she's coming across like a king. She's coming across in a very, and honestly, the King of Swords can rule lawyers. So it could be something like that. It could be someone who, but most of the time it just rules someone who does not, it's someone who doesn't show their hand. It's someone who is very, when I use the term calculating, but it's like that. It's someone who's planned out all the moves in their head, and they know what they're going to do and they know what they're going to say. And this person it looks like this person, and again, with the knight being a younger character and the Empress being kind of a mother, it's almost like this King of Swords, this Elder of Swords is in between. But the thing is, you've got the point coming kind of your way, and you got the bird coming your way. So I do think that this is some kind of communication. I think this is some kind of communication. And the other thing that I see is that I really see the light kind of growing. You see how it goes from like yellow straight into reds. It's almost like this communication, or whatever steps this king is bringing you, is really, the other thing is that air really fans fire, right? So I do think that you're going to be getting some kind of news or some kind of communication from someone who is working on behalf of a matriarch, or is speaking on behalf of a matriarch. And this is going to bring to fruition, or really get the spark of what began at the beginning of the week going and fanning to a flame. Now, by the end of the week, oh my gosh, you've got another knight and another queen. And you got the Guardian of Cups, or you didn't have any queens up until now, but you got the Guardian of Cups, and that's the Queen of Cups. And oh, how I love all of the cups in this deck are koi fish, and she's so beautiful. But you got the Queen of Cups, and underneath it you got the Explorer of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. So again, you've got a knight, you know, you've got a knight in the middle, and then culminating with a queen, like coming up to a queen's energy. And the root of all of this is Judgment. And oh my gosh, guys, that is a powerful card. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, Judgment is the people popping out of coffins and getting the calling. So I definitely think that by the end of the week, you know what, if I had to call it, something is going on. Some kind of family dynamic is going on that you've been waiting to get this start, and the moment you got your green light, you're just running with it. And by the end of the week, because these are both knights, it's almost like this transformation, this calling, this I really get the feeling that you're gonna have you're either going to be real eager to speak to someone, or you're just going to be this what's culminating in the middle of the week is going to need to be very rapidly communicated to someone, and it's going to need to be communicated to a woman who's very sweet and sensitive. And again, it's a queen's energy. She's not as strong as the Empress, so she's not like the grandmotherly type, but you're gonna something about all of this is gonna result in a really, this is gonna, you see, the other thing that you notice is that you see all of these lights here, and you see all this light here. I really feel like whatever events are sparking off is gonna bring people out of the cold. It's going to bring people out of the cold. This is a really big catalyst. Whatever's happening, I'm thinking you're having a really big week, guys. And this catalyst has been a long time coming. And it's almost like what's been going on needs to be communicated. And it's going to be communicated like hair on fire, like let me run up to you and tell you what's happening, kind of communicated, right? But that information is going to be given to either you or someone else that you deem to be the Queen of Cups. I'm really getting a feeling like it's another person, and this person is very, I think it's a feminine, it's a person, and if it's not a feminine, then it's someone who's just very kind-hearted, someone who's very nurturing, very sweet and kind and gentle. But definitely this calling, all of this, now that the show is on the road, someone, and I really feel like it's you, because these are both knights. It's almost like you're taking that sword and running with it, like, hey, let me tell you what happened, right? But you definitely will, there's going to be don't be surprised if by the end of the week there is this windfall of communication that's talking about this really kind of big event, and it involves a lot of people. And possibly this queen might need to be notified about some of these major events going on with the Elder of Swords and the Empress. But this is something that's needed to occur for a while, and now again it's coming out of the dark, because remember, judgment is people popping out of coffins, right? You're coming out of the dark, and I feel like this has been a long time coming. Now the two advice cards that you got is you got Cattail, and it says acceptance. Oh my gosh. On the edge of the pond in the shallow marsh, nestled amongst the reeds, you will find Cattail. This Flora takes comfort in the cradle of water steeped in decay. In return, it nourishes its community by offering fauna and flora alike sustenance and a safe harbor. Like Typha, it is wise to understand reciprocity. We role model expectations in reverence and respect when we honor our ecosystem and create space that favors life. As such, we actualize an advantageous abode for everyone. Take inventory as you consider your hearth. It is a safe place that encourages tolerance and is it a safe place that encourages tolerance and respect? If not, what elements could be added or subtracted to make it more loving and accepting? Wow, guys. And then the other one that you got, and this is the first one to flip, is Holly, and it says truth. Though most often associated with winter holidays, holly was worn on heraldry over 1,000 years ago to symbolize truth. Its green pointed leaves, complemented by striking red berries, are hard to mistake. Demonstrative in physical form, holly sets an example of incisiveness. Rather than tiptoe around the matter, this flora encourages us to speak honestly. When we deliver our messages from a place of objectivity, there is no reason to be ambiguous or misleading. If we seek respect, truth must be delivered calmly and consciously. When a response from another is heated, what defenses do you think have been breached? Over time, rework your message and try again. Now, one thing I am kind of noticing about this too, guys, is that while a lot of air and fire is pretty, air types can be a little sharp with their words, but it usually fire types, let it roll right off because, they're kind of bouncy like that. They're kind of impervious. But water types are a lot more sensitive, right? When I see like the Knight of Swords running up to a water type, it's possible that you might have to deliver some tough news. Either that, or it might be possible that maybe you got kind of tired of waiting and you kind of pushed for some news, and you might have gotten some tough news in return. But here it's saying that, in these two cards, it talks about truth and acceptance. And again, it talks about how, if we speak the truth calmly and factually, but to the point, without being brusque or harsh, you can get the truth across, right? And cattail, where it says, take inventory as you consider your hearth. Is it a safe place that encourages tolerance and respect? So the other thing is that I think in this situation, it's probably requiring some tolerance and respect. There might be more than one person involved. And again, Judgment is talking about the calling that will serve all persons, right? It's kind of like the destiny. It's a little bit of a fate card where everything's going to turn out the way that it's going to turn out. But that definitely doesn't mean that anybody has to be uprooted. There can be a gradualness to this. The other thing is that you don't have to transition overnight. This does not have to be fast, right? So it is talking a little bit, because again, there's a lot of persons involved here, and it is talking about truth, and it is talking about shelter as well. So I think in this situation the other thing that I'm kind of seeing is I'm seeing the trees kind of acting like a bridge, right? They're almost sheltering the path. I think there does need to be a little bit of shelter if there are changes to come. But definitely still be truthful and accept that truth. And the two self-care cards that you got Ritual, and you got I Am Celebrated. And wow, guys, these are two of my favorite cards. This is actually a card that I got as a gift when I bought the deck, so it's the one different card. It's the same size, so I put them with them. I put the cards together. But I think what it's telling you here is that with the self-care card, with both of these cards, it's telling you, I think you really do need to take time. First off, I think that you need to take time and do whatever it is, whatever rituals make you happy. Again, this is a little bit more of a tarot kind of based card, but maybe you have a ritual when you come home from work every day, or maybe you have a ritual on the weekends. you know, there was a great episode of Sex in the City that talked about your secret single behavior, the thing that you do when you're alone and when you're single and not, you know, and it's usually some type of self-care. You know, maybe you put yourself in a bright green face mask, you know, for 20 minutes, or, you know, maybe you come home and you just, you know, you sit down and you watch your favorite television show. But whatever ritual, you know, whatever ritual calms you. And I also get the feeling with all this activity, doing the thing that's regular for you would be very beneficial. It'd be soothing, right? Just kind of stick to your patterns, even though things might be changing. Stick to your patterns. The other thing is, I think it wants you to remember that you are celebrated, right? You are loved. You know, there are people that adore you in this life. And maybe if you do, the other thing that I'm kind of seeing is you see these colors. You see these colors, they're like the same colors as the Judgment card. I'm really getting a feeling that if you are having a low moment, go towards the colors. Go towards the people that make you feel celebrated, or reach out to someone that you trust. But you are headed towards a very good future. That's the other thing too. I think you're headed towards a future where you'll be celebrated and where you'll be happy, right? Like you won't want for anything. So, but wow, guys, that's a really action-packed week. I know we took a lot of cards there, but wow. Definitely, you know, definitely take care of yourself, and yeah, you know, do the things that make you feel at home. The other thing is, you know, do things that make you feel, you know, protected and safe and comforted. All right, guys. So deck number 2, we got the blue quartz and we got the Linestrider tarot. Let's go ahead and see, what is your week gonna be like? Deck number 2. What's our week gonna be like? Oh, that Knight of Swords keeps coming out. He might be our common denominator this week. Oh, the Lovers. And then end of the week, please. Okay, Fool. Interesting. We definitely, the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands kind of want to come out. So I'm gonna take that in perspective. Ooh, and the Sun. Someone very sunny. Someone, a very warm personality. Let's go ahead and see what's your Flora card. Ooh, heirlooms. Okay. Oh wow, you got a beautiful card in that deck. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, can I just say that I picked up and the sunflower came out on top. And when I was shuffling, the Queen of Wands, who is usually holding a sunflower, and the Knight here. I'm going to go ahead and take these cards because, you know, the other thing is that when I was flipping open the card, the sun wanted to come out. Like, not figuratively, but, I'm sorry, not literally, but when I was shuffling, the sun, you know, tapped, like it opened to the sun, and I associate that with the Queen of Wands. So there's definitely a person here. There's a couple here. So let me just find it real quick so we can see it. There we go, because this tapped out, and that was a sunflower, and then this is a sunflower. So yeah, we're definitely, it's screaming. I don't think it wants me to read the message on the back. It just wants, but it's saying the Queen of Wands has a sunflower. The sun is the sunflower. Yeah, we'll get into it, but yeah, it was just, so I just wanted to point out the synchronicities, not to get all woo-woo with you. All right, so we'll put our sunflower on top so you can see it. But all right, and what is your self-care card? sorry, getting distracted. Oh, sorry to be out of focus. Trying to be better about that. And, ooh, okay. Meditate. Excuse me. Got the hiccups a lot lately. All right, guys. So at the beginning of the week, you got the Knight of Swords and you got the Five of Swords. So, wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm just going to come out and say it. And there are no bad cards in tarot. There are never bad cards in tarot, but there are definitely going to be some words exchanged. And I'm not even getting like I'm splaining energy. You're going to have it flat out words exchanged at the beginning of the week. And I don't think the words are going to be exchanged with the person at the end of the week, and we'll get into that. But there's going to be some kind of battle that you're going to be kind of fighting. I really get the feeling like your energy is the Knight of Swords, and it's like, and you see how he wears armor, and the Five of Swords looks like an armored guy who's really been through it, right? But he has all the swords, right? And there's someone walking away there in the background. But the Five of Swords really is, the Five of Swords is a win-lose card, unfortunately. Now, to be honest, I'm getting the feeling like you'll probably be the winner, but the thing is you're gonna be kind of beat up by the end of it. You're really gonna have to verbally spar with somebody. And you're ready, you're up to the task, because you're the Knight of Swords, right? You can come into anything. But the thing with the Five of Swords is that there are two people in the card. Normally there's three people in the card, but one person is walking away defeated and the other person is sitting down. Now, usually the person who won is depicted as being kind of smug, being kind of like the, what is it? I always think of Nelson from The Simpsons, But here, this depiction of the card is a little bit more humble. This person is kind of worn out. You can see he doesn't look like he's crowing in victory. He's really just kind of like, damn, that was hard. Like, God, that was... And I think you probably know that it's going to be hard, whatever it is you have to say. But the beginning of the week, you're going to go in doing battle, right? Now, this could very well be a work thing. It could be that you have a lot going on. Maybe you have some kind of... maybe you have a lot of verbal battles that need to be fought at the beginning of the week. Maybe you have to really stand your ground. But I do get the feeling like the knight is you and the victor, the winner is you. But it is going to be a little bit of that hard-earned victory. The other thing that I get from this card and that I also like about this depiction is that there is a winner and there is a loser, and it's not like the winner's real happy that he won, but he had to do it that way. It's almost like a feeling like, okay, I know this is going to result in someone losing, but I'm going to have to do it. Now, as we get towards the end of the week, this might very well be relationship related. I don't see any hearts or cups related to the verbal fight, but I'm almost tempted. Let me go ahead and I'll shuffle once and we'll clarify. Why not? Because deck one got a lot of cards, so we'll go ahead. We'll give you some extra attention. All right, please tell us the Knight. What is this about? This verbal back and forth. What's it about? Okay, this friend wants to tap. Okay, interesting. It's about the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is a financial foundation. It's the beginning. It's the first pentacle that you lay down when you're building something, when you're building your 10 of Pentacles, right? So I do think that maybe you could be arguing with someone about money, but more importantly, I think you're going to be, and to be honest, because these are thoughts and there's really kind of one person, you could be battling yourself. This is entirely possible. This could be an entire battle in your own head of thinking about what foundations you want to start. So that kind of makes sense because that happens a lot when you think, okay, do I want to stay single, or do I want to settle down with this person, or, do I want to move here? All of those are very important decisions that kind of relate to that beginning, that cornerstone that you're laying, right? Because once you start down a path with a certain future, it is like building a house. You put down one brick and it all starts with one brick. And then before you know it, you start building bricks on top of it. And once you have an entire wall and once you have an entire foundation, you're not picking up and moving anywhere else anytime soon. So it is a very big commitment, and it's something that takes a lot. If you're not certain that you want to do it, you need to really be certain, right? So you could be in kind of a mental, back and forth, or quite honestly, it could be a fight with someone else about that. Like maybe you do have to. I'm not seeing too many twos, but I'm definitely seeing one. So I think it's you fighting some kind of verbal fight, either in your own head or with somebody else, about how you want to start, how you want to build your future. And it is about the real things in life. It can be about money, but it's usually about the things that you value, right? The pentacles are things that you value. Now, the middle of the week, you got the Lovers. And oh, I love this card because they're sandhill cranes. And they mate for life. By the middle of the week, you definitely got a relationship vibe going on. I really do think that now the Lovers, there is a duality in the card. It can be Gemini or the twins. The Lovers can definitely be a decision that you have to make. We had a tarot on the Lovers not a while ago now, but if you ever want to watch it, that's in my playlist. But the Lovers is about a big decision. It is. Normally you see there's an angel between Adam and Eve in the card. And here you kind of get the same feeling. The other thing is, in Lenormand, two birds, or the two cranes, they do mean love and communication, but they also mean movement. They mean change, right? So I really do think that whatever it is that you're battling in your head you're thinking about your future, and you want to plant the seed of your future, but it involves a very big choice. And I think by the middle of the week, beginning of the week, you're going to be really tangled in that choice, and possibly verbally arguing with other people about it if it involves other people, or if doing what you want to do involves, making changes that affect other people. And by the middle of the week, you're really I get the feeling like you're going to be making that choice, or the choice is going to be pretty darn clear by the middle of the week. And it's a big one. And again, the Lovers it's the major arcana. It's the real deal Holyfield, right? It's no joke. It's not a decision made lightly. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. But by the middle of the week, and again, you got the Three of Cups. And honestly, I think we used this deck last week. I'm sorry, I haven't used it in a while, and then all of a sudden I'm using the heck out of it. But the Three of Cups is about celebration, right? It's kind of like a party. It is a party. You got your sloth there in his party hat. I can never forget, I think it's a goat. I'm pretty sure it's a goat. And like a deer. But what it is there's going to be something kind of worth celebrating. And quite possibly it might be, I know right now all of us are practicing self-isolation. So I don't think that this would be a real gathering of people. But what it could be is, it could be like a virtual kind of thing. Maybe it's some kind of FaceTiming. That's possible. Maybe there's, and again, I always say, well, I don't say, but it's psychologically proven that as much as you text someone or you talk to someone, even if you talk to someone over the phone, seeing someone's face and hearing their voice is really important. Even in these videos, sometimes just seeing the face and hearing the voice really makes all the difference. It really brings you that connection when you can't be together. So it could very well be a Zoom meeting or some kind of virtual gathering. But I am seeing two people here. And again, you can be a man or a woman watching this. Maybe you're the King of Cups or maybe you're the Queen of Wands. But I'm definitely getting your energy as the King of Cups. And again, you can be a woman watching this reading. But what it is you're going to be really in that heart space. It's almost like, and again, the beginning of the week is all thought, right? It's all thought and practicality. What am I going to do? What do I think about it? Da 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 da. And then by the middle of the week, there's really like a decision, right? And the other thing that I'm kind of seeing is that this Knight of Swords is red and this is yellow. And then the lovers are red and yellow, right? And if you even want to go with chakra colors, that's root chakra straight up to solar plexus. And then it's almost like a gradient. I think you are almost, that's going to be a good transition. I like that. Okay, sorry, we'll get to that. But by the end of the week, I really do think, and with all the blue, I really do kind of read that as a throat chakra, like, and green going into blue. I think heart going into voice. I think it's almost like now that you've come to a clearer place and you actually do have a decision in mind, I do think that you are going to be trying to get some kind of you're going to get some kind of, and it may not actually be the actual conquest of this, but I'm almost getting the fact that the decision is made, the fact that you're on track and you know what to do and you know where you're going is going to make you feel celebratory, right? And remember how I said, okay, I was looking at these cards and going, okay, they're going to be really in their heart space and really, happy that they're getting where they're going. But who does it pertain to? Well, the Queen of Wands really wanted to come out. And next to it is the Nine of Pentacles, which is a very independent person, right? It's someone who's very independent. It's someone who, and I see that I really think Queen Bee, right? I think Queen Bee. And what it is that the Queen of Wands, she wants a partner, but she doesn't need a partner. Like you even see the cat in the picture, right? It's a cute little black cat. The cats are independent, right? They cuddle with people, but it's on their terms, right? And what I'm seeing is I really am seeing that I think that you are going to be coming into your heart space about a decision, either that or you're going to have someone approaching you. And so, if you've been feeling like you've been in a good energy, if you've been feeling really like independent, like just in a good space, like that healthy self-sufficiency, and it isn't even, it's not full of yourself at all. It's just, okay, I'm in a good place. I know who I am. I know what I do. I don't need any assistance from anyone. I'd like to have a relationship. I don't need a relationship in my life. But again, with that sunflower coming out, I just think you're in a very strong place. And I do think that if you're the Queen of Wands, you're going to have a King of Cups approaching you, and it is going to be kind of love related, and it's going to feel very celebratory. But I do feel like you're in a place of, you're in a very independent, sorry for the noise, you're in a very independent place in your life right now. And it's almost like this love is coming about, this celebration is coming about because there's a healthy balance of ego here. And that's hard to do. That's not an easy task. But when you do actually feel like, and again, it's not in a haughty way. It's not saying I'm better than anyone. It's just saying that, you are in a healthy place where you prioritize your self-worth. That's the other thing about the Nine of Pentacles. She's holding a pentacle just like the Queen of Pentacles does. And there's an owl there. So I do think that if I had to call it, I would say that if you're the Queen of Wands, you're going to have someone approaching you, and you will have kind of earned this approach, because you're being sound in yourself, this person doesn't want, wants to approach you. And it is kind of like that moment in your life when you've ever had those moments where it isn't the moment that you're sick of dating, that the person shows up. It's usually those moments when it's like, well, I'm in a good place. I don't need to date. I'd like to have a partner. But when you're in that really just happy, balanced place in your life, that love really, really shows up. And the King of Cups is a really loving character. He's a very loving character. So, definitely, I think it's your own self-sufficiency that has brought about this offer. The other way that I read it is if you are in your King of Cups energy, I think there really was, some kind of battle between, your real practical mind, like, what do I need to do? What do I want to do, and what's going to bring me happiness? And then there was some kind of life altering, and I know this is a weekly energy, but there will be like a very serious kind of fork in the road kind of moment by the middle of the week. And by the end of the week, I think it's definitely going to involve a lot of self-esteem, because we saw it. The sunflower came out 3 times, and it came out with the sun. And with that in combination with the 3 of Cups, I'm really reading that as a really joyous moment, like the sun coming out from behind the clouds, kind of happiness. And when you've got the Lovers, and then you've got the King of Cups, and you've got the Queen of Wands, I really do think that that's going to be some kind of, it might not be a big moment, but it's going to be some moment that just feels really like, like happiness. And this Queen of Wands, again, she's an independent but very, very good. She has healthy self-esteem. And then your Flora card, you got one of the most beautiful cards, is you got the rose. And it says heirlooms. The apothecary rose is a very old rose dating back to antiquity. Because of its historical relevance, this particular rose serves as a strong metaphor for what we pass down from generation to generation. Family stories, values, and perspectives can be perceived as heirlooms of certainty and become the soil we grow up in. As we age, if we do not turn over this ground, these heirlooms can positively or negatively impact our relationships and choices. But with personal responsibility, we can end the cycle. Old stories can be thinned, and new stories can be given room to grow. Review your family heirlooms and their significance to you. How vital are they to your self-identity? Wow, guys. I can almost read that in kind of a different light. With the Ace of Pentacles, maybe you've really kind of had all this conflict in the head. Maybe you've kind of had an idea of starting some kind of relationship that might have been kind of taboo, or maybe something that you felt like would not be accepted by your family norms, but you really wanted it. It's like that was kind of your ace. It was kind of your new thing. It's like a new seed to plant, and you see how it's talking about that, how the other thing is that you see in farming, there are farmers who have 100-year-old seed. It was, started by their great-great-grandfathers. And what it was is that the seeds were, they grew, and then they grew into a plant, and then you took the seeds from that plant and you grew it again. And it got passed down from generation to generation. So maybe the seed of consciousness from your family's traditions are really ingrained, and maybe you want to do something kind of different, but you feel like it will make you verge. And here it's kind of telling you that it doesn't have to be an all or nothing proposition. Maybe you can carry with you some of the things that are important from your culture, because of course that's a part of you, right? That's your seed. That's your 100-year-old seed, right? Is, the seed being planted and growing, and then, being planted, being taken from the plant and grown again, and crossed with other, it's the seed evolves, right? That's the other thing seeds do, is they evolve. And that's why the heirloom rose is such a gorgeous plant, is because it really has, been cultivated over time. but maybe you really do feel like some choice that you have. And it might not be love. I'm getting a real love vibe because I've got a king and a queen here. But the other thing is that the Three of Cups can sometimes be a third party situation. So maybe it's the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands. And again, the Queen of Wands is very independent. She doesn't need anyone. But maybe some of these family traditions or these I'm feeling maybe kind of taboos might be blocking you from coming into union, but it's becoming a third leg, right? It's becoming a block. And by the end of the week, you're going to be really thinking about, okay, would this work, right? Would this work? Are these two seeds compatible? But I do see a lot of sun. The other thing is that this Queen of Wands, if you're the King of Cups, this Queen of Wands makes you happy. The other thing is that this union you saw it, you had 3 sunflowers come out. And the rose is about love too. And, the lily is about attraction. So I'm seeing beautiful imagery with these two people together. So, but your self-care card is you got meditate. And look at that, guys. And remember how I talked about kind of chakra colors? It went from red into orange and yellow, and then, then it went to blue into green. And again, the solar plexus color is right around the Queen of Wands, but I'm thinking almost like if you are still tangled in thought about this, or by the end of the week, if you're still in limbo, or if this is still a third party situation, you're not sure how to cross the seeds to help them, you're not sure how to bring these. The other thing is these are opposing elements, water and fire. So you might feel like you're too different from somebody. It is really telling you to try not to let your thoughts get ahead of you, because that's the other thing here is that, you've got a lot of chaotic thoughts. So it is telling you that, and even if you're not good at meditating, like I know I'm not real good at meditating, it is telling you to just breathe and kind of let your mind drift. Maybe look up some of those free exercises on YouTube or on the internet that talk about, kind of mental exercises that you go through. Imagine that you're in a field. Imagine, this, and it kind of go through it for maybe 5 minutes, because all it takes is 5 minutes. But I'm definitely seeing the same colors. You see the greens. Oh, look, guys, synchronicity alert. You see the greens here transitioning into the blues and the purples. I do get the feeling like the King of Cups might be your energy. But yeah, definitely just go ahead and try to breathe, try to do those visualizations and just kind of check out for a little while and give your brain a break. And that really will bring you into your King of Cups energy. And when you're in the King of Cups energy, you'll know what choice to make. The right choice will be very clear. All right, guys, so we'll go ahead. That was really powerful. I love these weekly readings. They always give us so much good information. All right, so let's continue on. Deck 3. We got the beautiful sea glass. All right, and the Morgan Greer. This deck loves to talk to me. This is one of my favorite decks. It's my tried and true. It's my fave. I haven't used it in a while, so let me go ahead and we'll do a little shuffle. Okay. I shuffle a little bit differently because the cardstock is nice and sturdy on these cards. I love it, but it doesn't like flip and bridge the way that other decks do. Okay. All right, here we'll try again. I'm noting the cards. But deck number 3, what's the energy for deck number 3's week? May 2nd through 9th. What is the energy? Okay. Oh, Judgment came out in the first deck. And then, oh, thank you. This flipped out before, so we're going to take it now. And then end of the week. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Queen of Cups. Okay. And let's go ahead and we'll get your Flora card. This one does shuffle very well. So we'll I shuffled them real good, but when our sunflower came out, I kind I split up the deck, so let's grab it. Oh, the sunflower is hitting me in the thumb too. All right, deck number 3. What's our? Oh, thank you, cactus. All right. Oh, I'm seeing a theme, guys. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, and your self-care card. What's our self-care card for you? What's our self-care card? Oh, little stargaze. Pretty. All right, deck number 3. Let's go ahead and get into it. Wow, guys, so at the beginning of the week, you start the week off with a major arcana, and you also end kind of the week off with a major arcana. But the beginning of the week, you got Judgment. And Judgment is that very traditional card. You see you don't even see the angel in this picture, but you see the horn, like blowing flames, and you see people coming out of coffins, right? And they're coming back to life, right? They're coming back to life. So at the beginning of the week, I like I am getting kind of a feeling like it's been a little bit of a tough time. And again, we've got some crazy things going on in the world. It's been so hard. And, whatever blessings that we have, we're grateful for them. But it's almost like the events going around you. Again, all of the one song, a lot of music speaks to me. Especially during times like these. And one song that keeps playing in my head when I've been watching the news too much and I start getting worried is there's a Sarah McLachlan song called World on Fire. And it's like, and she did originally write it about another world event that was very traumatic. But World on Fire, it's like, world's on fire more than I can handle. I came down to the water, trying to do my part, to bring my best. And, it's just kind of her way of saying, what do I do? What can I do, right? What can I do? And I think at the beginning of the week, you're gonna get a vision of I think you're finally going to see kind of the end of where you can go and how you can get through this, what lies ahead for you. And I do think that it's going to feel promising. It's going to feel like you're actually you're going to feel like things are lightening up a little bit, but it is going to be still in a very powerful way. Again, the one thing about Judgment is when you think about it, these persons were blue, right? They were blue. They're popping out of a coffin. So it is a sign. It is a card of transformation. And it is saying that it's not like things are ever going to be the same. That's the other thing that I kind of think of when I see Judgment. Things are not going to be, it's not like you're going to pop out of that coffin and be exactly as you were before, right? There was kind of a metaphorical death there. But the thing about the coming to life, it is coming out of the dark, right? It's kind of coming through the valley and seeing the first light at the other side. And I do think that you are being called to what your purpose is. And I know this is just a weekly energy, but I do just get that. I do get a lightning. I get a feeling of a weight being lifted. And I think you're not only going to see your way forward, but I think you're also going to see, again, I'm hearing that song, World on Fire. What can I, more than I can handle, me trying to do my part. But I do also hear that I think it's going to be you knowing what you can do, right? You're starting to see what you can do and what the meaning of all this is. And it might not be related to world events. It could be other things in your life. It could be work. It could be family. But I definitely just feel like you're going to be feeling like you're coming back to life at the first couple days. And it's going to be a good feeling. It's going to be a good feeling. And again, that things are never going to be the same. You're never going to feel the same way that you did before all of this began. But you are going to feel better. And that energy, with all the flames, that's an energy. It's like, and I almost get the feeling that people felt really cold right? Because you see all that blue. They look like they're cold, right? And it almost looks like they're warming themselves by the fire, right? So maybe things are starting to thaw out a little bit, is also the feeling I'm getting. Things are going to start thawing out. And that's a good thing. Now, by the middle of the week, this is really interesting, but you got the Two of Rods, and this card popped out twice. It popped out while I was shuffling, and then it popped out again. So this was most definitely your middle of the week. So we had a tarot on the Two of Wands not too long ago, but what? Oh, sorry guys. Can you see? Sorry. But the Two of Wands, and especially in this card, is that normally in the Two of Wands, one of the rods is bolted to the wall. Here, you can see very clearly that there's a second hand, right? The second hand is someone holding it, right? Two different gloves there. And the person with the blue gloves is holding a globe, right? And it's almost like he's offering the world to someone else, right? Or also, I do think that I also read this as being kind of a sign of hospitality. Like maybe you're greeting someone or doing some kind of presentation. But, the other thing is that there is definitely kind of a shield here. And on that shield, you have lilies and roses, right? So I'm getting kind of a feeling like towards the middle of the week, you really might be, again, I get the feeling like you're going towards a new, you're moving towards something new. And again, the Two of Wands is, he's already got the Ace of Wands in his hands, and he's heading towards a second rod that's held by someone else. This could very well be some kind of partnership, but I am almost getting kind of a presentation vibe. I really get the feeling like you want to put your best foot forward with somebody. And I'll be honest, guys, the other vibe that I'm getting, and I don't know if you guys can have if you've had this happen, but since the self-quarantine has begun, hasn't it become where if you're either, staying at home or working from home, the the being in the casual clothes all the time and the not really getting dressed up for work or putting any makeup on, I'm really beginning to wonder, because the other thing is, you see how kind of gray everyone looks, and then this person looks all dolled up, like they got a feather in his cap and like, put on the good clothes. I'm really wondering if maybe, maybe there is an opportunity to, I do get the feeling like you're putting your best foot forward for something. Maybe it is a presentation, or maybe you are actually doing a video conferencing, or possibly maybe you are doing some kind of work that involves you being seen, where you, or maybe you just get the inkling, and I think also maybe in the middle of the week you just get the inkling to kind of, you feel like, okay, I have new things coming my way. Let me get up and do my hair. Let me put some mascara on, right? But I am definitely seeing a second person here, and the way that you're all dressed up, it's almost like you're an ambassador, or the other thing is you might be representing something to someone else. But I do see you putting your best foot forward, and I also see you I'm getting the feeling like you're going to make a really good impression. You're going to be making a really good impression. So I do think that you're being called to do something, and you're really going to be putting your best foot forward towards the middle of the week. Now, by the end of the week, and this is really quite beautiful. The one other interpretation is that maybe, and again, with times being as they are, maybe you're being asked to step up for work. Again, everybody, and I pray that everyone is okay and healthy. But this has been a very struggling time where maybe you do have to fill in for a coworker, or maybe someone is not able to come to work, and you really need to kind of help out. And maybe that is kind of a, it's making you feel like, okay, things are going to get better. Also, with a lot of current events going on, there's been a need for people to step up in certain respects if you're an essential worker. But I do get some kind of feeling like this is you just feeling like we're finally coming out of this time, and you can actually start feeling human again. That's the other thing I'm feeling, is I'm feeling human again. Okay, let me, I can start getting dressed up again for work, or I can start, at least, feeling like I have something to look forward to, right? That's the other thing. Maybe you feel like you have something to look forward to. Sorry that I got to that the long way around. You can see there's so many good symbols in this. Now, by the end of the week, you got the Queen of Cups and you got Strength. And gosh, guys, the other thing that I'm kind of seeing is that the way that these both persons kind of have things, kind of, this is not a king, but I really do get the feeling that by the end of the week, I do think that you're going to show yourself to be a reliable person. And I feel like you're going to be showing yourself to be a reliable person in a very emotionally strong way. Again, maybe you're really being there for people right now. Maybe you're helping people stick together. Through, because the Queen of Cups, she has a cup of love to give, right? And she's got such a nurturing heart. Like, of all the queens, she is the most loving on an emotional scale. And with the Strength being underneath, you do see this. You see this gentle touch, taming the primal in us all. And what I'm kind of seeing is I am getting kind of a current events vibe. I'm really getting the feeling like, again, I've said before in other videos, this, what we're living through is really affecting our psyche, even if we don't realize it. When you think about it, there are three places in life. The first place is home, because that's where you spend a majority of your time. The second place is work, because that's where you spend the second most amount of time. And then the third place is your third place, which is usually like the mall or your favorite coffee store, or your knitting group. It's the place that you go to, that you commune with other people and connect with, with those who are not coworkers or your family. And right now, we were losing our third place with, with social media. And then now with this coming, our second place has really gone away. And now home has become workplace, third place, home place. It's really turned everything on its head, and that's not normal. It's not normal. And when you start getting abnormal things, not being able to easily go outside, not being able to see people, and you'd be amazed at how it really does wear on the psyche. And people manifest it. It's like trauma. It's like loss, right? And people show those in different ways. The symptoms of that are very nuanced. And some people get mad. Some people are brought to tears. Some people get mad and get brought to tears. Some people get irritable. Some people get isolated. But when you're kind of managing that, and I also get the feeling that maybe you're a leader or a team leader. Maybe you have a staff of people that you look after, and you've really had to be strong, right? And again, we feel like we're coming out of the dark. I feel like you're going to feel like you're kind of coming back to life. But by the end of the week, I really do feel like you're going to be there for people. Like, you're going to understand what they're going through, and you're going to be strong for them, and you're going to be strong for yourself. But I do get it kind of on that psychological sense where you understand what's happening to people emotionally, and you're there in kind of a nurturing context to help them, to say, look, it's okay. We're going to get through this, right? We'll get through this together. Now, the card that you got really reiterates this. That's why when I saw Strength, is you got Cactus, and it is really a beautiful card. You got a flower at the top. But Cactus says reserves. Although cacti are ubiquitous in the Southwest, water is not. And yet, despite this divergent truth, the pads of Eupontia, it's the genus of or desert prickly pear, are composed of approximately 90% water. Accustomed to the arid landscape, Opontia is has devised ways to store the elements it needs for its survival. A strong message of retaining essential elements for future use. A flora categorized in water is energized by fire. Cactus teaches us how to hold on to what is essential. Water is as much about cleansing as it is about vitality. Without this element, we would cease to exist. What reserves do you have set aside when needed? And what tools should you acquire for sustainability? Oh my gosh, guys. It's talking about reserves of water forged by fire. And you've got fire from the trumpet, and you've got the Queen of Cups. You are keeping your reserves of water despite crazy circumstances, and you're thriving. You're thriving, and I also get the feeling like you're helping other people stay on the level too, which, wow, guys. So it's saying stay strong. Don't lose your water. Keep your water. Keep your water. And actually, I think this putting your best foot forward is also about you. I think that is self-care. Like, I know all of us are feeling like we are just living in a cave right now, but I think that treating yourself good will help fuel this water. If you keep your resources strong, again, keep your reserves strong, hold tight. I think it is about taking care of yourself too. I also get the feeling that maybe towards the end of the week, maybe you'll be doing a little bit more relaxation. That's possible, where you really are going to do some more things to take care of yourself, to make sure that you're staying strong. Now, your self-care card is, you got Stargaze. And this is such a beautiful card. You see her looking up at the stars. And I know everything has been so boring lately, but isn't that one thing that you can do if it's a clear night? And I know I'm in North America, and it's starting to get, it's springtime here, and it's starting to get warmer. Even if you're in another country, it might be fall, but starting to get cooler, but it's still that beautiful mid-range temperature where if you go outside and just look at the stars, I think that also would help you keep on the level, because what makes you feel better than knowing that we are all stardust, right? We're all made of the same elements, and as above, so below. But the one thing that's beautiful about stars is just looking up and feeling like whatever problems are going on in your life, it isn't to say that your problems are small by comparison, but it does, by looking at the vast universe, you can kind of check out of your own mind for a minute and just know that there's a grander scheme to things, and just it's just gorgeous. It does. I think it's such a calming and beautiful thing to see, and on a starry spring night, that would be really nice. That actually sounds lovely. But all right, guys, so that is your week. That's a really good week. I like that one. I love your cactus. Gosh, that was a great card. All right. So I sincerely hope that you enjoy. I hope that you have a good week. Definitely, please, stay happy, stay safe. Take good care of yourself. If you are an essential worker, I am so grateful. I just want to say thank you to everyone. I want to thank the delivery persons and the persons who are in food service and who are really doing their part to contribute to things when things are really tough. But again, I hope you enjoy. If you do like the content on my channel, I would be very honored if you would like, comment, and subscribe. The next video will be on Tuesday, and it'll be the How to Tarot Tuesday, and we'll be talking about the Ten of Wands. I hope you can stop back by then, and I'll see you later. Bye.